future water users to please step up and sit on the table. I mean, you are all stakeholders now. You can't be silent audience anymore. Come on.
That's a generation which has to carry.
Yes. We're talking about strategies for ourselves. Let's take a seat on the table.
Yeah, please come. Please, I think.
Go for it. Go for it. Grab all the chairs that you can.
No, there's something here. No, she's
A little bit about myself. My name is Pallavi Bishnoi. I run a startup called Real-Time Renewables. I've studied from Manipal and then in the US. I've worked in the US, UK, Norway, a couple of other countries, and then I moved back to India and started this venture where we're trying to provide customized sustainable solutions to the Indian market. I also work with a lot of foreign technologies as a consultant for them here in India. When we're talking about water future strategies and new approach for emerging technologies, there's like a bunch of things that have been said already. Why we need it? There's demand, of course, and I think most of you must have learned all the numbers and the percentages that have been talked about ever since the beginning of this conference. Then there's infrastructure, lack of infrastructure in the country. I think we know that very well. And of course the climatic conditions. I mean, that's something we can't do anything about. Being water-wise is, the next cool thing that everyone is talking about in the industry, and we're trying to figure out what that exactly means, being water-wise. And just by talking about it in a room full of experts, experts are already water-wise. But we need to talk to people who actually don't understand what this means. The communities and the actual users of this water. So there's water use efficiency, which is, we all know, reduce your usage of water and, try to reuse the water and everything that we've learned so far. There's recycling of wastewater, an alternate source of water that we haven't looked into in India. Israel, which is the went from becoming water-stressed nation to pave the path to a water-sufficient nation today. The idea is to reuse the wastewater, and they're doing it tremendously well. I think that's what everyone of us should learn from. Developing resilient watersheds, that's something we haven't been working on in India. We've just been destroying our watersheds, and I don't know for how long we can afford that. And fourth is monitoring and evaluation. One of the most important things when we take up projects with the government, with the private sector, so civil society, anyone, when we're taking up projects to measure the impact of that project and see, have a hawk's eye on what's happening, where the money is being spent, if it's being utilized judicially, if we're getting the impact that we had planned for. So a question to all the new water users, the next gen water users that I spoke about earlier. We all know that there are problems. By now it's established. How many of you think that there are existing solutions already? Nobody. Do you guys think there are solutions, already existing solutions somewhere in the world? People have figured out how to solve these issues. So yeah.
At that place maybe.
A lot of
for
places.
A specific place. Maybe.
Yes.
But
so a lot of
places is not.
Yeah. Globally, a lot of people, locally, they've figured out solutions to their existing problems. And in India itself, we have a lot of homegrown technologies in various smaller parts, like Sir spoke about Andhra Pradesh, a story to be told on a national platform, and a couple of other such stories which are not being advertised as well today. And internationally, a lot of solutions that exist. We really don't have to reinvent the wheel anymore. A lot of people have already worked on these problems and have figured out solutions to these. We just need to find out what solution fits us the best and customize it a little bit for India. We all know it's not an easy country to work in. So given all these countries that I've worked in so far. When I came back here, I had to really customize myself to work here, and it's a lot of it's not easy, but then it's a challenge, and people, the behavioral aspect of people is also a plus and a negative at the same time. If you keep thinking of it as a negative, and it's going to never yield you any impact. But when you talk about community participation and ownership, and especially when it comes to water, I think that's indispensable in any water project if we want it to sustain. So what I'm going to talk about today is not the problems or the solutions. They both exist. I'm going to talk about the bottlenecks in the implementation of these solutions. So me being a startup, that's the first thing that I look for. Where is the bottleneck? And try to figure out a solution for it. So since I've been working with so many international firms and technology providers who have really amazing solutions to all these problems, but they've been trying to figure out how to get these solutions on the ground in India, and we've really been struggling over so many years. We've definitely come a long way with the government and with the private sector stepping in, but there's still a lot of things that need to be recognized and addressed and solved probably for us to have efficient implementation of these solutions on the ground. One is collaboration. We have a lot of technology transfer platforms. We need to just figure out how to use them more efficiently. Seminars or workshops like these, try to get more out of them. Probably some MOUs being signed at the end of it. Just get something solid on the ground. There's definitely a lack of credible data when we talk about water solutions. A lot of experts across the globe, when they want to help you, it's like they're doctors, right? And we can't tell them our symptoms or our problems properly. They'll never be able to diagnose or find a solution to your problem. So data is one of the biggest bottlenecks that we're facing right now, and I really hope we're working together with a lot of organizations right now to bring all this data together to create database, see the validity of that data, and so that can be shared transparently with all these experts, and can be used as a tool for the government, for the private sector, for the international experts, for everyone for that matter. Then vetting the technology. Sometimes it's like paralysis by analysis, right? Because we're trying to analyze and vet these technologies over and over and over again, instead of just learn from what has been done, what has been implemented, and try to bring it back home. And that creates such a bottleneck because we don't have so much time. Delhi is running out of water in 2020, and that's like tomorrow morning. So I don't know if Delhi has enough time to vet all these technologies and take their chances and wait for things to come through. We really have to figure this out. A quicker way of doing this, bringing in new solutions. Then the implementation part of it, I figure, and the government is being a lot more proactive now over the last few years after all the scare about the zero day for water. But I still feel there's a lot that can be done to create enabling conditions for all these new emerging technologies to come into the country. But I'll leave that to the experts and to the older and wiser people to figure out how that can be done in the country. Multi-stakeholder approach is something that we're working with. I also work as a water expert for the World Bank, 2030 Water Resources Group, and we're taking up this multi-stakeholder approach in UP now. I'm based out of UP. In Bundelkhand, part of UP, where we're bringing in government, private sector, civil society, academia, all of them on a single platform, and have them talk to each other. Because I feel, we felt that everyone's working in silos. There's so much replication of effort and sometimes so much gap between the efforts that nothing is being done on the ground. And Bundelkhand, as we all know, has been struggling with drought for very many years now, and tons of money has been spent and nothing has happened on the ground. So we're trying to figure out what's wrong, and trying to bring solutions from these multi-stakeholder platforms, ground-up solutions, so we can actually deliver through the government of course. Government is a big stakeholder for us in the project, but deliver in the right way and in a more efficient way. Innovative financial models are important. We can't expect the government to build all this infrastructure that is needed overnight. They have, some money allocations for all these programs, but there has to be more innovative and robust financial models that can help the government and the private sector at the same time to solve these issues. And a lot of these innovative models are now coming in. With Delhi Jal Board projects and a lot of UP government projects as well, which is really encouraging. Identifying new revenue streams. I remember in the last session also somebody spoke about it, that there has to be a sustainability to the economic models that we are dealing with. If you're giving out water for free, and I don't know, everyone keeps talking about non-revenue water. I feel it's still going to take India a couple of years till we start charging people for water, especially for agriculture. Indirectly, unofficially, the farmer is still paying some price for that water. But officially, if you want to get that in the system, I don't know how much time it's going to take. But there are other revenue streams that can be recognized around this system of water, since water is related to a lot of other agri and horti and all the irrigation. A lot of these projects are interlinked. So maybe an integrated approach and more revenue streams that can be identified. So the private sector wants to step into the market and take up these projects as a viable profit-making business, instead of just leaving it to the government to figure things out. So that is it. I'm just going to leave you guys with all those questions and some food for thought. I didn't want to take too much time, but if anyone wants to have any discussions, I'll be around. We also do, so RDR also does a lot of these decentralized sewage treatment plants, like small cube ones that you can have in your backyard and without having pipelines and heavy infrastructure. These are like band-aid fixes to the wastewater problem right now. Until the government comes up with the bigger ones, we're going to use the smaller ones for now. Thank you so much.